Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to cut through all the noise, find those key nuggets of information, and basically give you a shortcut so you feel really well informed. Today, we are diving deep into a massive football match, a real clash of titans in the FIFA Club World Cup. We've been digging into an Al Jazeera article, and it really lays out the details for this huge quarterfinal. So our mission here is simple: give you the full backstory, the important insights, and really explain why this particular game is, well, more than just a game. It's a proper global showdown. Okay, well, let's get into it then. This fixture, wow. It's the FIFA Club World Cup quarterfinals. And the teams. French champions Paris Saint-Germain taking on the German powerhouse Bayern Munich.
Feels almost like a final already, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And what's really key here is the context. This isn't just any knockout game. It's an all-European battle. Two giants fighting for a spot in the Final Four of FIFA's revamped Club World Cup. These are like two of the very top clubs right now. And we've got the specifics. It's set for Saturday, July 4th. Kickoff is 12 p.m. local time over there in the U.S., which works out nicely for European viewers. That's 16.00 GMT. And the venue, the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. A huge stage for a huge game.
Definitely a global event. And, to really get the scale of this, you have to look at their recent trophy hauls. PSG, they just did something incredible, won the UEFA Champions League for the very first time ever. And that was on top of winning their French League and Cup again, a historic treble.
Wow, first Champions League title. That's massive for them.
Huge. And then you have Bayern, who just, did what Bayern do, sealed their 34th Bundesliga title. Incredible consistency. So yeah, these two teams are absolutely at the peak of their powers.
Okay, so here's where it gets really, really interesting for me. How did they actually get here? How did these two European giants navigate the earlier rounds to set up this quarterfinal? Because, well, their paths weren't identical, were they?
No, not quite. They both got through, obviously, but took slightly different routes. PSG, they started really strong. Good wins against Atletico Madrid and the Seattle Sounders in the group stage. Look very solid.
Showed their quality early on. But then there was that little hiccup, right? They lost that final group game. 1-0 to Botafogo from Brazil.
That's right, yeah.
1-0.
So even though they still progressed, it was maybe a little warning sign?
Could be, yeah. A potential, vulnerability, perhaps. Something Bayern would definitely notice. But to their credit, they bounced back immediately in the round of 16. They faced Inter Miami and a certain Lionel Messi, of course.
Ah, the reunion. How did that go?
Total dominance from PSG, won at 4-0. João Neves got 2 goals, and it also showed how important Désiré Doué has become for them this season, really central to that treble win.
Okay, so PSG recovered well. Now, what about Bayern? Their tournament start was, well, it was something else. They played Auckland City from New Zealand and won 10-0.
10-0. Yeah. Yeah, what do you even say about that? It's more than just a win. It's like a statement of intent. We're here to win this whole thing.
No kidding.
And they backed it up, too, confirmed their progress with a solid professional 2-1 win against Boca Juniors.
So, flying start. But then, interestingly, just like PSG, Bayern also tripped up in their final group game. They lost 1-0 to Benfica.
Yeah, it's a funny parallel, isn't it?
It really is. Does that suggest anything? Maybe took their foot off the gas knowing they were through? Or something for PSG to exploit?
It's hard to say for sure, maybe a bit of both. But again, like PSG, they responded. That loss set them up against Flamengo in the round of 16, and Bayern came out firing, got 2 goals really early on. Flamengo made a fight of it, but Bayern ran out 4-2 winners in the end. Harry Kane got a couple.
Doing Kane things.
Exactly. So that quick recovery from the Benfica loss, it shows their resilience. They learn quickly. And, stepping back a bit, this game, this quarterfinal, it's not happening in a vacuum. There's a real history between these two clubs. It's actually their 15th meeting overall.
15 times. Wow.
Yeah. And Bayern have slightly the better record historically, 8 wins to PSG's 6. But like you said, it feels closer than that somehow.
And some of those meetings have been absolutely huge, haven't they? I remember their first games were way back in '94. PSG won both of those, actually.
Yeah.
But the one everyone remembers, especially PSG fans probably, that 2020 Champions League final.
Oh, yeah. Lisbon.
Bayern won at 1-0, and the goal scored by Kingsley Coman, who used to play for PSG. Ouch.
Yeah, that's the kind of history that adds, well, let's say, extra spice to this matchup. Massive psychological element there.
For sure.
And speaking of history and psychology, Bayern have actually won this competition, the FIFA Club World Cup, twice before.
Right, I remember that.
Yep. 2013 against Raja Casablanca, and then again in 2020 against UANL from Mexico. So they know how to win this specific trophy. That kind of experience, it can be crucial when things get tight.
Okay, so we've got the history, the paths here, the recent form. Let's talk about the here and now. What's the team news? Who's likely in? Who might be out? What's the feeling coming from the camps?
Right. So for PSG, the big talking point is Ousmane Dembele. He came on as a sub in the Inter-Miami game, looks sharp. There's talk he might get his first start of the tournament here.
That would add another dimension to their attack, wouldn't it? Speed, unpredictability.
Exactly. It gives Luis Enrique another potent option.
So if we were to guess a lineup, maybe Donnarumma in goal, then Hakimi, Marquinhos the captain, obviously Pacho, Nuno Mendes at the back.
Sounds about right.
Midfield,
Yeah.
maybe Neves, Fabian Ruiz, Vitinha. That's worked well for them.
Very technical midfield.
And up top, perhaps Dembele if he starts, and Kvaratskhelia.
Yeah, that looks like a very strong possibility. Very attacking, very fluid.
And what's the coach, Luis Enrique, saying?
Pretty standard stuff, really, but you read between the lines. He said, at this stage, it will be difficult no matter who the opponent is. He talked about resting, preparing well. We have the time to do so. We're very happy. Calm, confident, but acknowledging the challenge. Classic Enrique.
Okay, let's flip to Bayern then. Any key news from their side?
Well, the good news for them is Jamal Musiala. He got about 18 minutes against Flamengo. Looks like he's coming back from injury, so he could feature again, maybe even start. That would be a huge boost for their creativity.
Yeah, he's so important for them. Anyone definitely out.
Yes, a couple of big names, actually. Leroy Sané has just completed his move to Galatasaray, so he's gone.
Wow, okay. Big departure.
Yeah. And also Kingsley Coman, the hero from 2020, he might miss out. Picked up a knock, apparently.
So potentially two key wide attackers missing for Bayern. That could impact them.
It could, yeah. Forces maybe a rethink from Nagelsmann or puts more pressure on others to step up.
So their possible lineup, Neuer in goal, captain, defense. Maybe Lamer, Jonathan Tah, Upamecano, and Stanisic.
Seems likely.
Solid unit. Midfield, the powerhouse duo of Goretzka and Kimmich.
Of course. Engine room right there.
And then attacking. Maybe Olise, Musiala if fit, Gnabry, and Harry Kane leading the line.
Yep. Still looks incredibly dangerous, even with Sané gone and maybe Coman out. Kane guarantees goals.
What about Kane? What's he been saying?
He sounded very confident, as you'd expect. Said, we have to believe we can win it for sure. Acknowledged PSG are tough opponents, Champions League winners, but finished with, we feel like on our day we can beat anyone. He also mentioned it would be a dream come true to win it. So yeah, Bayern are definitely aiming for the trophy.
Right, so the winner of this, it doesn't get any easier, does it? What's the path forward?
No, not at all. The article confirms the winner here goes on to play the winner of quarterfinal 4.
And quarterfinal 4 is another absolutely massive game. Real Madrid versus Borussia Dortmund.
Exactly. A repeat of the recent Champions League final, essentially.
Wow. That match is at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey right after this PSG-Bayern game finishes.
Yeah. So whoever wins PSG-Bayern faces another monumental task in the semis. The quality in this tournament is just ridiculous.
Okay, well, that was quite the deep dive into this PSG versus Bayern Munich clash in the FIFA Club World Cup quarterfinals. We've looked at how they got here, their pretty intense history, the latest team news, and what awaits the winner. Hopefully you listening feel, really clued in and ready for what promises to be an absolute epic match.
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it? You've got Bayern with that proven club World Cup winning experience, that history. Then you have PSG fresh off finally winning the Champions League, maybe with that hunger, but also showing that little bit of inconsistency in the group stage, perhaps. So the big question for you listening is, considering all the history, the form, the potential lineups, which team do you think is truly better set up? Not just for this quarterfinal battle, but who looks like they have the mentality, the depth, the resilience to actually go all the way and lift this trophy? Is it the established power or the newly crowned European kings? Something to think about.